Hello and welcome to EVTV Ireland. Today we're talking to John Casey. My name is Inge.
And my name is Guillaume. So, hello, John. To start off, please tell us a bit about yourself and your EV journey. What made you decide to get an EV?
My EV journey, I guess, began with a trip to the Tesla Service Centre in about May 2017 when I test drove the Model S. So I had been considering a change of car, and the service centre was open about a month. I was staying nearby, and I said I'd drop down on spec just to look at the car. I loved the design of the car, especially the hatch shape, which has the ability to put a full bicycle in with the seats folded down. I managed to get a test drive of the car, and I liked the stability and the handling of the car. And of course, the technology appealed to me as well, being an engineer. So that's the start of my journey.
That's great. So that's a Model S you got, right?
Yeah.
What was your last petrol or diesel car?
So prior to the Tesla, I had only driven diesels, German diesels. I started with Opel, I drove VW, and I drove BMW diesels. And I guess, that at the time, prior to purchasing the EV, I was doing significant enough mileage, but in actual fact, work had changed, and I was looking at an increase in my mileage. And I had workplace charging in the locations that I was traveling to, but with the increase in mileage, I reckoned, I would possibly be increasing my carbon footprint if I stayed with diesel. So I said I would take a look at the electric as an alternative.
So actually, how many kilometers have you driven since you got your Model S, and how many years now?
So I commenced my electric journey at the very start of 2018. I actually picked up the car on the 2nd of January. And since that, up to the lockdown, the car was being driven over 1,000 kilometers per week. In exactly 2 years, I had 115,000 kilometers on the odometer.
That's a lot of kilometers, that's for sure. Have you had any issue, warranty claim, etc.?
No, the only significant issue with the car was that the cabin heater failed. That's a common problem with those cars. Otherwise, nothing major, only very minor issues associated with the car tank.
So what are the favorite things about this car?
Oh, that's very easy. My most favorite thing about the car is the ability of the car to auto steer. So that's when you can essentially set it to carry out the steering for you. That works absolutely flawlessly on motorways throughout the country, and it's pretty good on national primary routes as well. It eliminates any fatigue. It's just brilliant, you know. I cannot speak highly of it. Now, in addition to that, the ability, as you have in all electric vehicles, to preheat the car is absolutely brilliant in winter. And the other thing that my car has is Spotify. It has a free Spotify in the car. So I like music, and I like the ability to be able to just browse on music. So yeah, just things.
So you obviously you're using autopilot a lot because you're doing mostly motorways, right?
Yes, yeah, absolutely, yeah. So it really does lead to a journey that has less fatigue, and you're more alert if any issues are presented to you as you're driving along. I found you're more ability to auto stop because you're not concentrating on steering all the time.
Did you give a name to your car?
Yeah, well, every Tesla has the ability to be named, and at the time of purchase, I was watching a television series called Mr. Mercedes. It starred our own Brendan Gleeson, and by the time I got into the car, my kids, who had been looking at the interior before I got to it, called the car Mr. Tesla, and the car name has remained as it.
So, John, in addition to being a Tesla driver, you're also the founder and president of Tesla Owners Ireland, the official Tesla owners group for Ireland, and you also set up the Clare EV Owners Group. How did the Tesla Owners Ireland Club come about?
So I guess when I embarked on my EV journey, the experience I had even prior to purchasing the car led me to set up the Tesla Group. Primarily because I had a lot of questions embarking on an EV journey, and I reckoned that other owners of Teslas would be able to help me. So I essentially only at that stage knew one or two, and we got together and decided to form the group. And then we contacted the Tesla Owners Worldwide program, run out of Fremont, and we became official after 25 members. There is an excess of 500 members in the group now.
Probably since the Model 3 was launched a few months ago, you saw the membership raising a lot.
Absolutely, we had a lot of new members in relation to the Model 3. Absolutely, yeah, quite a lot. So the I would reckon there's probably about 1,000 Teslas in the country. So we're probably capturing about half of the owners at this stage. We're primarily active on Facebook, but we have a Twitter account and we're on Instagram also.
Okay, so what does the Tesla Owners Ireland Club do?
We provide assistance to all the owners on all aspects of car ownership or Tesla ownership. I guess the most popular topic discussed in the group is insurance, which comes around once a year for everybody. But other things are discussed, primarily, I guess, how to do things relating to the controls and the technology within the car. Other things quite popular are charging issues. So what charge you can get at certain locations and things like that. Others in relation to problems that people are experiencing. Has anyone experienced it before and things like that. The other thing is we get quite a lot of new owners who use the group to show off their purchase, take videos or photographs of their first day with the car, and there's a great camaraderie about the group. Yeah.
Cool. And so, who can join this group? What does it take?
So the club is limited to owners and reservation holders. Membership is free, that's it really. Anybody who has ownership details or a reservation details can join us,
and then they can benefit from the helpful community
yes,
of Tesla owners.
Yeah, we would be considered very helpful of the community. Yeah.
Very good. So, are you in regular contact with anyone at Tesla or any other owners club?
I wouldn't say regular. When there's an issue or a query that is relevant to the Sandyford Service Centre, we'll get in contact with them. But we don't maintain anything regular with them. Mostly the answers to the questions that owners pose are found within the group.
Very handy. So now, please tell us a bit about the Clare EV Owners Group. How did that come about?
Well, having set up the Tesla groups pre-purchase, I then embarked on the EV journey, and I found that when I was doing any charging at some of the local spots, which I went to explore, with my new car. I met other owners that were also from the county, and some of them would not have been aware of, you know, the local parking regulations, or perhaps even some of them are not aware that there was chargers available in other locations throughout the county. So I figured that it was good to set up a group just focusing on locally. So that's how the Clare EV Owners was born, having met some of the fellow owners. I would say that, yeah, the Clare councillors, a lot of them have been quite proactive. Ennis town itself was the first to offer free parking to electric vehicles in some of the local car parks. And they were also one of the first councils to procure an additional suite of council-owned chargers and roll them out throughout the town as well. So they're quite proactive. So yeah, we're a local group. We're not very active, but if there is issues that come around, we will become active. Like we have, you know, lobbied councillors in relation to providing chargers in places, and we put in a submission when a local service station was being refurbished. So yeah, it's quite an active group.
That's good. How many members on this group now?
I would estimate that the Clare EV Owners has about 75 owners at this stage.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. And I suppose anyone can join, even a tourist coming over for the.
If you're coming to the Banner County, you're very welcome to join our group. Yeah.
Very good. Very good. It's great to have local groups, because it's true. When it comes to what to know locally, and you mentioned parking, but also some charging and some charges someone might not know and things like this. It's true at the local level. It's very good to give each other's tips.
Yeah, it sure is. Yeah.
Well, thanks a lot, John, for talking to us today. Of course, we wish you well with the Clare EV Owners and the Tesla Owners Ireland. And everyone, I hope we see you very soon in a more formal setup, or maybe not. We'll see how long we have to live apart from each other. We'll see you very soon. Thank you.
Thanks, Don.